Hi, welcome to Enter the Bunker, where we launch you into thriving. Each week, we talk about a different virtue that can be used as a building brick to build your own personal bunkers. We share personal stories, as well as tips and tricks to help you thrive instead of survive. So sit down, relax, and enter the bunker.
Hello, and welcome to Enter the Bunker. This week's building brick is accountability. I'm Kelly,
And I'm Jonathan.
and we're going to go over the meaning of accountability.
The meaning.
The willingness to take full responsibility of our choices. Whew.
That's a big one.
Accountability is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm intrigued how we'll get into it this show. Let's go over some quotes here, though.
Let's do it.
So we have 4 quotes. The first one being by Courtney Lynch. Leaders inspire accountability through their ability to accept responsibility before they place blame. 2, it is not only what we do, but also what we do not do for which we are accountable for. Moliere. 3, take accountability. Blame is the water in which many dreams and relationships drown. Steve Maraboli. And finally, 4, 99% of all failures come from people who have a habit of making excuses. George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one do you like?
I think that Steve Maraboli's quote, take responsibility, or take accountability. Blame is the water in which many dreams and relationships drown. It's a very vivid kind of picture.
It is. You picture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 95% of failures come from people who have a habit of making excuses.
99%.
99. Sorry, 95, 99. Wow.
99%
Yeah.
of all
And I totally
failures.
agree, because there's only 2 things, like you either have results or you have excuses,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people just make excuses when they don't have results,
Mhm.
right? And I think that that's something that it's just surprising how many people aren't accountable and they lose the opportunity to be able to learn from it,
Yes.
because they keep on, it's again, going back to the whole idea of, like, drowning and whatnot. It's like they keep on, it's like they keep on building up these excuses.
Yep.
And the more they do, it's almost like, drowning yourself.
How do you learn? Yeah. There's no coming up from it after.
Yeah.
After
There's no coming up from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't learn anything from it, and it just keeps on going.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're just not accountable, and just everything in life really requires accountability. And the problem is that just even in our, I feel like even in our the way systems are, accountability often isn't encouraged. Like a
Mhm.
lot of people will sooner lie or
White
or
lie or
try
not
to
tell the
put
truth.
or try to push things away,
Yeah.
to not be accountable for either what they did or what they should be doing.
Yeah.
So I just, it's amazing that there's not enough of it, I think, in this
Right.
world the way it is. But as a building brick, it's so critical, because if you don't have accountability, you don't have integrity, you don't have trustworthiness, and then what do you have?
Nothing.
Yeah, you just have nothing.
Yeah.
So
I actually can probably pinpoint when I actually learned, I guess, accountability. And that is when I worked at McDonald's. They had a meeting. I don't even remember exactly what was going on for them to call the meeting, but they had the meeting with all the managers. They brought us all in, and it wasn't a good meeting. They were kind of getting after us and
everyone's
saying,
in trouble.
yeah, like, stop everyone right now. I don't want to hear a single thing come out. When I ask you why something's done, I don't want to hear excuse. I want to hear, I'll get
Yeah.
it done. Do not put the blame on other people.
Yeah.
You take responsibility for it. You take accountability for it. And yeah, like I remember that so clearly. And now I am the first one to say, if something happened, I'm the first one to say, this is my fault. And even sometimes I think I take too much accountability, because I'll try to take somebody else's accountability for them and be like, it was my fault, or I know it was their fault deep down, but I'm almost taking it on myself.
So what that is leadership.
Okay.
Okay, so you're taking a leadership initiative when you're doing that,
Okay.
because
So it's
if somebody's in a position of leadership,
Mhm.
then they are accountable for what happens with their team.
exactly that. So it is.
Yeah.
I am accountable then.
Yeah. So when you're not taking blame for a random person that did
Right.
something, it's because you were training them, or you were somehow managing them, or you
Yeah.
were somehow supervising them,
Yep.
and something went wrong, and it was on your watch.
Yeah.
So
yes,
then
they
you're
may
just-
have did
yeah,
it, but I'm still accountable for that
you're
person.
still accountable. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So
Yeah.
that's a sign of leadership. So it's a good thing,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of all the building bricks we have, and we will discuss, accountability is the glue that holds all of them together.
The glue.
Good glue. You can talk about creating the best version of yourself, but unless you are accountable to actually make it happen, you are unlikely to be successful. The accountability can be to yourself, a partner, your community, or the world at large. But at the end of the day, it is you and only you that is accountable for your own actions. You make choices, you make the decisions. And the definition of accountability means that you are responsible for those decisions. So make the best ones you can. You won't be perfect, but you can admit to your mistakes, be accountable for them, and try to be better next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
Nobody's ever going to make the right decision every time.
Yeah.
So if you can just own it
Mm-hmm.
and be accountable,
Yeah.
and then just move on and learn from it.
Exactly.
That's all it takes. And it sounds so simple, but there's still people in the world that feel like, oh no, it was that guy that did it. And
I think
it's
honestly, a lot of the time too, it could be pride in people.
Yep.
Like they don't want to
They think they
admit
have
that they messed up.
this like this absolutely perfect veneer,
Yeah.
right? That of like this image that they're projecting
Mhm.
as though they know everything, they would never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And as soon as something threatens that, then that's what they do. They'll just spit it on somebody else.
the
right?
walls will go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's like, oh, that wasn't me. That was him.
Yeah.
Right. And when that happens, they're not learning anything.
No.
There's nothing being learned. And of
Mhm.
course, what's happening is that you're getting nothing but excuses. So it just,
It's like they're wiping their hands clean of it. It's like they
Yeah.
don't want to learn.
yeah. And it just ticks everybody off.
Yeah.
Like everybody who's like looking at that situation, they're just like, no, that's you.
yeah.
And like, there's nothing anyone's saying that's changing your mind about that, but it is you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate because it really, that in that kind of circumstance, that really breaks down trust.
Yeah.
Like you
does.
lose trust in that person because it's like, well, now next time, what do I know?
Yeah.
I know next time they're just going to blame somebody else, and they didn't learn anything from that.
Yeah.
And
It could be like a form of lying too, because when you're saying, "Oh, that's not me, so and so did it," but you're not telling the truth, I guess. So it's not even accountability that they're losing or they've lost that. It's again trust, like you said.
yeah. And we're talking about adults here. We're not
Yes.
talking about children.
No. Of course not. We teach children these accountability. Like,
Yeah.
we teach
And so
them
it's
that
like,
stuff.
yeah, if a child lies or something like that, or does it, like, oh, I didn't do it.
Mhm.
It's just like, yes, you did. Just say that you did. Like you
Yeah.
encourage them to be
Yeah.
accountable for
This
it.
actually happened to me
And
the
it's-
other day.
Okay, yeah.
With my son. Yeah, like the way he flipped off the couch, he accidentally kicked the younger one in the face, like in the
Ooh.
eye. And his eyelashes, this is a weird story, were actually like his top eyelashes were shoved down in like the bottom of his eye here. So he opened his eye and he's like, "Mom, I can't see. I can't see." Because
Oh.
all he's seeing is his eyelashes. So his eyes open, but his eyelash, it was so weird.
They were like stuck.
Yeah, so I had to like pull this down, pull this up, and release it. And anyways, so he was very upset, but I'm very, because of what I learned at McDonald's that time, like I think this is one of the more important building bricks for succeeding in life, because honestly, when you take accountability, you learn, and then that's how you go far. So I'm very adamant on them for taking accountability when something like that happens. I think he thought he was going to get in trouble, but he wasn't. Like we all know it was an accident. But you got to have that conversation afterwards so they do learn this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like he was sad. He didn't mean to hurt him. And when he seen his eye, he was even freaked out himself. So yeah.
And so he'll grow up and he'll learn from that.
Yeah.
And it's and now he knows to be accountable.
Yeah.
Even if there's something where he thinks he's gonna get in trouble,
Yeah.
he doesn't get in trouble, but he at least learns from it.
Yeah.
And or maybe he does get in trouble and
Yeah.
he pays the price and he's
Yeah.
like, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
But for people who grow up and just in some cases I can almost see where society sometimes encourages this by kind of like fables we pick up, like where you get the idea that the only people that make it in the world are those that just like never only the like rich people are crooks.
Right.
Like the only reason that they ever get anywhere is because they screwed somebody else to do it. Right. And so you believe things like this, and it encourages this idea that nobody has accountability. Right. It's the only reason why that guy is further ahead than I am is because and why he has money is because he just stabbed so many other people in the back, not being accountable to anybody. Right. So there's these little fables that we like when I was growing up, I can even think about how I was just like, you get these idea of like, money is the root of all evil. It's a popular one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then you get that idea in your head and you're just like, okay, so anybody who has money must be really evil.
Right.
Yeah. And so then that must mean that if I'm going to be successful,
I
then
have to be evil.
I have to be, I don't have to be accountable. I can just put the blame on somebody else. Right. So all these little things that we have, like kind of revolving around in our culture with these little ideas kind of sabotage our prospects for being accountable, like for actually holding accountability to something that matters for real success. That's my impression anyway. I might be off, but
I know it was a definite. I never even looked at it that way, so it opened my mind up at looking at it that way for sure too.
Yeah.
All right, so stay tuned for part 2 on how to be more accountable. 3 ways for you. We'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
Thank you for listening to Enter the Bunker. Make sure to follow us on Instagram where you can share your story and also look at behind the scenes of how we make our podcast. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube by simply searching Enter the Bunker. Tune in next time as we launch into thriving.